Now, talking about our nation, Australia Day, just around the corner. We've got the usual whingers out there pushing the Change the Date campaign. One man who's going to be out celebrating is Indigenous academic Anthony Dillon. He joins me from Sydney. Great to catch up with you again. What's Australia Day this year going to mean to you, Anthony?
It'll mean the same as it has in other years, that primarily Australia's a great country. It's a chance for me to catch up with friends and family and just have a good, relaxing time. But most of all, appreciating what a great country we live in.
Yeah, I've just come back from overseas, and every time you come back to this country, you realise what a magnificent place it is. I mean, and when you come back into Australia by air and you fly over, as I did, Cape York, and you end up landing way down south in Melbourne, you realise what a massive country this is and all the advantages we have. It just makes me sick and tired every time the year leading up to the 26th, where we have to have this ongoing argument about whether it's the right day, the wrong day. I mean, seriously, can't we just say Australia's a great place and be happy about it?
Absolutely, and that energy these protesters and activists, blacktivists, are putting into wanting to change the date and all that sort of thing, they should be channeling that energy into activities that make a real difference for Indigenous Australians, those ones who are suffering the most. You know, they're just distracting themselves, avoiding facing the important issues.
And they're not going to do themselves their cause any good this 26th of January, Anthony, because as we've seen, Lydia Thorpe and others like her intend to try and join up, for some reason, the Palestinian dispute in Gaza with the Australian argument about Australia Day and Indigenous rights. I mean, that is just crazy stuff.
It is. They've certainly muddied the waters with that. It was absolutely ridiculous and stupid. It's just beyond me how some people can be so stupid.
Do you think that post the referendum, which obviously, was 60% of Australians voted against the Voice, are you hearing within your community that the federal government or the state governments are actually now doing anything to help the Indigenous Australians who need the help that they need, or have they just walked away from it and said, oh, well, we lost the referendum, bad luck, we're not going to worry about it anymore?
Oh, look, I'm sure there's activities that are happening all the time, and, we don't always see the activity or see the results of it. But what the opposition in particular do need to be visible, given that the Voice was so very, very visible. I mean, you couldn't miss it. So they do need to, and they did this a couple of weeks ago, telling us about the plan to enable private home ownership in Indigenous communities. So that was a step in the right direction. So they do need to be more visible, telling Australians what they are doing. And that will give people hope.
Yeah, I think that's right. Anthony Dillon, always good to catch up with you, mate. Thank you very much for that.